Welcome to Best Ball Study Hall. I'm your host, Jeremiah Retzlaff. You can find me on X at Coach Retzlaff1. I got a draft started off here. I have Jamar Chase and Chris Olave as my first two picks. And I just made a click in the third round at 29 overall, Josh Jacobs. All right, so I have a Green Bay Packer, and I have a veteran who I really wasn't clicking too much in the pre-draft process. Now, talking about the Packers in the draft, we have MarShawn Lloyd as a rookie drafted. He is at 154 ADP in round 13. So between MarShawn Lloyd and Josh Jacobs, I think you have to take stabs at both players. But let's not forget that Josh Jacobs is the guy who can come in. He'll get run into the ground. He's got the Pro Bowl experience. Josh Jacobs is the veteran, and he is the bell cow to start the season. We've heard some rumblings from the Packers, some optimism about Aaron Jones' process, being able to get MarShawn Lloyd on that track. That may take some time. That could be some wish casting, some hopium. But I do like MarShawn Lloyd landing there. He's a great pick, MarShawn Lloyd, as a best ball player, because you really don't have to determine when to and when not to start MarShawn Lloyd. Now, taking in the Packers receivers post-NFL draft, Jaden Reed at 59 in round 5, Christian Watson, 87, round 8, Romeo Doubs, 113, round 10, Dontavian Wicks, 147 ADP in round 13. I really like Romeo Doubs at 113 in round 10, and Dontavian Wicks at 147 ADP in round 13 versus Jaden Reed and Christian Watson. The mindset thought being that if there's going to be a flat target share in the Green Bay Packers offense, I just want two of the cheaper wide receivers. And in this NFL draft, I think all the Packers receivers are and were winners. So give me Doubs and Dontavian Wicks, and there could be a huge payoff there for some Green Bay Packers. Now let's go over to the Houston Texans. Something I like about the Houston Texans is how aggressive they have been in trying to get talent for CJ Stroud. Now in the draft, they went and got Cade Stover. He's currently 215 ADP. He's going in round 18. I'm still going to roll with Dalton Schultz, 124 ADP in the 11th round. And then for Jawar Jordan, the running back, 215 ADP. Any running back can get an opportunity, but it is the Joe Mixon show, 56 ADP. And then, of course, Dameon Pierce. You can't write him off entirely, 204 ADP. Now, where you have to put your head through the blender, through the shredder, is Nico Collins at 23 at the 2-3 turn, Stephon Diggs, 24 at the 2-3 turn. Then, of course, Tank Dell, 42 ADP in round 4. He's sharing around with CJ Stroud, ADP of 47. So between Nico, Diggs, Dell, if you can get one of the three, two of the three, or three of the three to pair with CJ Stroud, I'm all about it. Go right for it. So no real huge impactful moves from the NFL draft for fantasy, but we just have a locked in equation to solve. The fun thing about the NFL is there's always some equation to solve, and the Houston Texans pre-NFL draft trading for Stephon Diggs have given us a new equation to solve. And what I like about this ambiguity between Collins, Diggs, Dell, you just need to take stabs at this Houston Texans offense. If you're out on them entirely just because of this ambiguity or being unsure, then I really think that you will miss out. Now, heading over to the Colts, let's take a look for their draft. Adonai Mitchell, ADP of 103 in round 9, compared to Josh Downs at 132 in the 11-12 turn. To me, I've talked about it before, it is a huge misprint, and I think it's disrespectful to Josh Downs. I've liked Adonai Mitchell pre-NFL draft. I still like him as a player, but I love the price and the ADP point of Josh Downs at 132 overall at the 11-12 turn. I'll pivot over to some other veterans around Adonai Mitchell's ADP. Anthony Gold, drafted by the Colts. Hopefully he'll strike gold personally, but at 216 around 18, he's going to be living and trying to compete with somebody like Alec Pierce. You can't forget about Pierce. So that's what I've got on the Colts for their draft process. I love Anthony Richardson at 56 ADP. I have a feeling that he could be the QB1 this year overall in fantasy. You love pairing Michael Pittman with him earlier. So, really, the impactful move in the draft for fantasy has been Adonai Mitchell, ADP 103, round 9. I think he's going a little too high, but these are things that we can take advantage of as well. So then going over to the Jaguars, let's see how they're set up. Travis Etienne, 37 overall ADP. I still think you have to click him, especially when he falls. Brian Thomas Jr., 69 ADP. Very nice. Round 6. To me, give me Evan Ingram at 73 ADP at the 6-7 turn. And then Christian Kirk at 54 ADP in round 5. I feel like Evan Ingram and Christian Kirk are going to be all over the place underneath the field for Trevor Lawrence. And Brian Thomas will be the guy over the top while he's having some rookie growing pains. I think you have to take advantage with Christian Kirk and clicking Evan Ingram. The beauty with Evan Ingram is you can really set up a very nice team with your first 5 to 6 picks and then add Evan Ingram to your squad. So you can get several receivers, maybe a quarterback in there, and then have Evan Ingram as your number 1 tight end. I think that's a huge value and a way to differentiate from other drafters on Underdog. So let's head over to the Chiefs. All right, they struck gold with Xavier Worthy. You have to put your head through a blender between Xavier Worthy, Marquise Brown, and Rashee Rice. 62 ADP for Xavier Worthy, Marquise Brown 63, and Rashee Rice 63. They're all there in round 6. To me, you just get Kelsey with Mahomes and then put your head through that blender or through the shredder and try and get 1 or 2 or 3 of these players. Xavier Worthy is going to be the hot, trendy player to get. Marquise Brown, just a burner. He's risen up. He's getting that Chiefs boost. And then, of course, there's that Fear Street with Rashee Rice, which we're unsure of. We do not know. There's a lot of unknown. If Rashee Rice weren't facing so much trouble, we may be looking at a much higher ADP for Rashee Rice, regardless of Xavier Worthy being drafted. But now we have 2 pieces of information with the rookie Xavier Worthy being drafted in the first round and the looming suspension for Rashee Rice. So now you have these 3 players. Good luck trying to figure out who is going to be the best receiver to matriculate up and through. So I think the path that you have to do is with the Chiefs, you are just trying to make sure you get Mahomes and Kelsey, and then any pieces of the Chiefs that you can get separate from that is just a big bonus. And then I want to highlight Isaiah Pacheco, 50 ADP, round 5. He got no competition. He is a huge winner from draft day. So Isaiah Pacheco, you can get him in round 5. Now let's go over to some drafts. All right, we can finish out. I'm going to go to this draft. So far, I have Bijan Robinson at pick 7 overall, Brandon Ayuk, 18, and then DJ Moore at 31. So those are my first 3 picks. We are in round 4 here. I have Keenan Allen at the top of my queue. I also have at the very top Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, just another player to pick on and make sure you get exposure to. But for me in this instance, since I have some DJ Moore, I'm pretty happy with trying to build on some Chicago Bears exposure and stacks. And DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, just another shredder blend of players that here in best ball, we need to click early, often, and wherever they're at their ADPs, and then let it sort out afterwards. The beauty is we don't have to decide when we will or won't start Keenan Allen. You can make a bullish case, you can make a bearish case for all these players between DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and Rome Odunze. You could say Keenan Allen may have less snap share. You could say DJ Moore is just going to be sharing targets with so much. There's just not enough room for him. And then with Rome Odunze, he's a rookie. It may not all come at once. So you can pick apart anything for these Bears receivers. But to me, why not just click as much as you can on these Bears and then expect good things? Fantasy goodness in Chicago for the first time in a very long time. So my squad so far, Bijan is my hero running back. I've got Brandon Ayuk, DJ Moore, and Keenan Allen. I'm setting up for some Bears stacks. But then, of course, I have Brock Purdy possibly later with Brandon Ayuk. And then, of course, Bijan Robinson to pair with maybe Kirk Cousins. And then I can get some other exotic Falcons players later. Of course, Drake London is gone at this point. So I'm going to move over to another draft. Let's see what we got next. I have another mini Schnauzer. And so far, I have Justin Jefferson, pick 6 overall, Devontae Adams, pick 19, and Malik Neighbors at 30 overall. I've been going for some veterans, but here I am clicking some Malik Neighbors because I actually believe the New York Giants. A lot of people are thinking that Malik Neighbors is going to be in a bad spot with the New York Giants. I actually am of the mind that the New York Giants are going to have to throw a ton. Who are they going to be competing with? They're going to have to throw the rock a ton. And what's wild to me is that Malik Neighbors, everybody was ready to pencil Malik Neighbors into the Chargers, and everybody's talking about so much running. There's going to be such little volume with the Chargers, but Malik Neighbors will just be awesome and excellent. It won't matter. Now, of course, Justin Herbert is in an elite tier above Daniel Jones and or Drew Lock. But to me, this volume is going to be here for Malik Neighbors. Then I'm all about clicking on some Malik Neighbors. So where people have Fear Street, for some reason, I just see this disconnect between the volume that wasn't going to be in San Diego and people perceiving that the Giants are just going to run a ton. They're not going to have many choices since they'll be behind so much. They're going to have to play some catch-up ball. So that's where I think the volume will come in for Malik Neighbors. Now, will the quality be there? No, but it won't be as bad as, say, Desmond Ritter. So that's the optimism I have when clicking on Malik Neighbors. Now take the Chargers. They'll have the luxury of being able to run the rock because they'll probably be up in games. I believe that Harbaugh can get them to manage the football, run a lot, play good defense. And of course, Justin Herbert is an excellent talent. So I would have liked Malik Neighbors with the Chargers, but I also love him here with the New York Giants. Now, who I have in the top of my queue, Travis Etienne, Tank Dell. I can go either way. I like some Tank Dell. I saw Tank Dell fall in the draft into the 50s, very far from me. My main note and signal on that is the fact that Tank Dell fell. So if Tank Dell is falling, I am going to be clicking. If you're going to give me the Aldi prices on Tank Dell, then give me Aldi Tank Dell. Now, with that said, who I've got, Travis Etienne. I'm going to pair Travis Etienne with Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, and Malik Neighbors here. I want to get my Jaguars exposure up, and I want to get my Travis Etienne exposure up. I talked about Evan Ingram earlier, trying to get more of him. I would like to get some more of Travis Etienne. And I will finish this off. Let's go through one more draft. I've got a mini Schnauzer on my squad. I just have simply Justin Jefferson at pick 6 overall. I have at the top Brandon Ayuk, Devontae Adams, and Devon Achane. I am going to go away from Brandon Ayuk. I've clicked him plenty. I love him lots, but I haven't had so much Devontae Adams. So I am just simply going to do something different. I encourage everybody to do something different from what you patternistically do and try and just build different exposures for your builds because you never know what ripple effect it could cause. For me, another one is Devonta Smith. I'm trying to click Devonta Smith when he's unstacked just because I see a blind spot for myself. So right now, a blind spot for me is Devontae Adams. So I'm going to boost those numbers up. We're not going to fade him yet. I've got Justin Jefferson and Devontae Adams to start my squad. So this has been Best Ball Study Hall. Hopefully you enjoy the cup of coffee or the walk you go on Maybe you're riding the car. Whatever you're doing, I appreciate the fact that you tuned in, and we will see you later.